ahead and just come to a comfortable position on your back side, either with the legs outstretched, or you can bring the soles of the feet together for a reclining bound angle pose. If you have blocks and you need them for support, you can place them underneath your thighs. If you don't have blocks, you could also roll up towels, or if you have a shirt nearby or something, that would also be good for propping. So we'll go ahead and begin on our backs today. Soles of the feet together, hands to the belly or just on your side, whatever feels good for you. We'll take a nice long inhale through the nose. Big exhale through the mouth. One more time, inhaling through the nose. And big exhale through the mouth. And then just allow the eyes to close or take the gaze down as you come into the space today. So we're going to try something a little bit different over the next few weeks. We're going to kind of weave through a theme or a couple different focus areas in our practice today and in the upcoming weeks. So our focus for the next few weeks will be on opening across the chest and shoulders, kind of the heart openers from that rounded shoulder posture, and then also focusing in on bringing some strength to the back of the hip and the sides of the hip. So kind of that pelvic stability area, which tends to be an area of weakness for a lot of folks. So we'll still take everyone through our typical vinyasa practice, but we'll just kind of sprinkle in those areas when we come to our mats. So just beginning to deepen your breath. If you're on your back, go ahead and walk the shoulder blades underneath you a little bit more. So tuning in to that opening and broadening across the collarbones, lifting your heart up a little bit more, just creating a little bit of extra length across the front body. And I want you to bring your awareness to the heart center. Think about inhaling and exhaling into the belly, but also into the area at the center of your chest, the heart center. So this is our area of love and compassion and kindness, which for many of us we're really giving a lot of right now. And sometimes it can feel like it's challenging or it's difficult to continue to do that day after day and hour after hour. So just take a few moments here to just be in this space, in your body, connected to your breath, and try to put a pause on the mind chatter. Maybe creating a visual focus point around your body, either of the low belly or of the heart center. And just tuning your focus into that space, inhaling and exhaling at whatever pace feels calming to you, feels grounding. And if you joined me yesterday, we talked a little bit about self-talk. So I think this is something that we tend to kind of tune into those negative thoughts or negative phrases, even if we're not trying to, but during times of stress or anxiety. So I invite you today to just make a brief statement to yourself, just quietly in your own mind, something that's positive about yourself. So some examples might be, I am strong. I am appreciated. I am capable. I can do hard things. So if one of those resonates with you, repeat it a couple of times to yourself, and if not, just come up with something else that connects to you or that you're connected to. And we'll let that be our intention for our practice today, if that works for you. And then if you have additional space to open across the heart center by taking those shoulder blades underneath you a little bit further, I invite you to do that now, and then we'll take 2 more cleansing breaths. So inhaling through the nose, and then open your mouth all the way. Big, heavy exhale, let it out. Good, and then do that one more time, inhaling through the nose. Big, heavy sigh through the mouth. And then if you took that reclining bound angle posture, just go ahead and gently bring the knees back up to center. And then we'll keep the feet in line with the hips. So I want your feet to be in line with your hips and your knees, the shoulder blades underneath you. And then go ahead and release the arms so they're down at your sides today. We're gonna move into a dynamic bridge pose to start. So on your inhale, press through your feet and lift the hips up. As you exhale, pause, stay here. We'll stay for one more inhale and exhale. Think about activating the back of the hips. On your next inhale, sweep your arms up next to your ears. Exhale and hold. Maybe lifting the hips higher. I want you to really focus in on activating the back side of the hip. Trying not to allow your knees to splay out to the side. Lift the chin slightly. One more breath in. As you exhale, release the arms down and then release the hips. So we'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, float the hips high. Activate the glutes. So sometimes in bridge pose, we talk about turning on the glutes, turning off the glutes. We're gonna focus in on activating the glutes, maybe even the hamstrings. On your next inhale, sweep the arms up next to your ears. Pause, keep lifting through the hips, lifting the chin slightly, kind of opening the front of the hip too as we activate the back of the hip. Exhale, release the arms down and then lower the hips down. One more time. Inhale, float the hips high. Exhale, pause and hold. Think about, again, knees in line with your hips here. Nice straight line all the way down. On your next in-breath, sweep the arms next to your ears. And then pause and exhale. Just starting to notice that activation around the legs and the pelvis. Exhale, release the arms down and then lower your hips. Go ahead and toe heel your feet out wide so they're towards the long edges of your mat, and then just let the knees fall into the center here. Just neutral spine position. Place the hands to the belly. Inhale and exhale deeply 2 times at your own pace. Just noticing how you feel. Good. Then as you exhale the next time, bring your feet back so they're about hips distance apart. And then inhale your legs up to 90 degrees at the hips and the knees. And you can flex your feet here. So we're in a neutral spine position. I want your low back to be relatively connected to the mat, but you're not overextended or pressing down too far. Just try to maintain a little bit of engagement in the low belly here. And then we're going to start to straighten the knees about 1 inch more. So lowering them down. Notice what happens to the midsection here. And just continuing to breathe, holding and breathing. On your next exhale, I want you to lift your head and your trunk up. Turn the palms up to keep that chest open. So we're talking a lot about opening across the collarbones and the chest and shoulders. So allowing the palms to float up as you hold. Just an isometric here. So maintaining the same position. Try to relax the neck. Good. As you exhale, release everything. Take a full body stretch here. Deep breath in. As you exhale, step everything to the right side. C-shape your body here. Just start to lengthen that left side of the body. Reaching hands and feet to the right. And then coming back into the center, full body stretch, wall to wall. And then on your exhale, step everything to the left side. Breathing into the right side of the trunk. One more breath in. As you exhale, come back to center, full body stretch, wall to wall. And then as you exhale, step your feet in one more time. Bring the knees up to 90 degrees at the hips and knees. Neutral spine, belly draws in. Relax the head and neck and hold. And then slowly let the legs extend just slightly through the knees. That should feel a little bit more challenging to you. And if it's available to you, as you exhale, let the chest and the head and the arms float up. If you want to make it a little bit harder, you can start to straighten the knees a little bit more. So moving into, this is a modification of our low boat pose. So chest and shoulders open, relax through the head and neck. To make it easier, you'll pull the knees in so they're more in line with the hips. Let's stay for 3 more breaths. Relaxing through the face and jaw, focusing in on that midsection strength. And as you exhale, release everything, full body stretch one more time. Deep breath in, and then exhale. Go ahead and draw the knees into the chest, and then just start to rock the spine from side to side a little bit. Make some small circles on the mat through your low back. Moving in a clockwise direction and then a counterclockwise direction. And then when you feel ready, we're going to make our way up to hands and knees. If you want to rock lengthwise along the spine, you can do that. Otherwise, you can roll to your side and come up to hands and knees that way. So we'll transition to that hands and knees position here. Hands are underneath the shoulders, knees under the hips. Let's start to flow with our breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling to cow pose, looking forward. Tailbone lifts, shining your heart forward. Exhale, tuck and round, coming into cat pose. And shifting your hips if you'd like from side to side. Just taking a few cycles at your own pace. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat pose, belly draws in. Beginning to notice that movement through your spine, the activation in your belly. Practice the Ujjayi breath or that yogic breath. You're going to create that slight constriction in the back of the throat as you exhale, like you're fogging up a mirror with your breath. Really allowing that breath and the pace to drive how your flow is moving from one asana or pose to the next. We'll take one more cycle at your own pace here. And then we'll come back to a neutral spine in tabletop. Extend your right leg back and rotate over to your left hand and knee. Inhale the right arm up for modified half moon. So starting to bring some activation to the side body here. We're going to slowly let that right arm come back down to the mat and then inhale it up. Next, float the leg if it's available to you. If you're floating that leg on the right side, think about the foot being flexed. Optional hip opener here if you'd like. You're going to reach back for the top outer edge of the foot. If you want more of a quad stretch today, you're going to pull the heel towards your glute. For more of a hip flexor stretch, you're going to press the foot into the hands. That will also allow you to open the chest and shoulder a little bit more on the right side. Looking up or down, whatever feels best on your neck. Breathe. One more inhale. Exhale, release. Send the arm and the leg up. Again, that nice alignment here with the hip, the knee, and the foot. Feeling that activation around your outer hip and glute. Use your exhale to release back to tabletop. Inhale to cow pose. Exhale, tuck and round to cat. One more time, inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, neutral spine. Shrug the shoulders down away from your ears. Send the left toes back. Come over to the right side this time. Outer edge of that left foot comes down, left arm floats up, modified half moon. Good, release that left hand back down, gentle tap on the mat, send it up towards the sky, float your left leg. Gaze can be up or down, whatever feels best on your neck. Optional hip opener here, pressing the foot into the hand, opening the left side of the chest. Nice and dynamic through the leg here. Again, these are just suggestions. Do what works for your body, friends. Good, release the foot, float everything up. Ankle in line with your hip, foot is flexed. Feel that activation around the hip. Use your exhale to release back to neutral spine. Walk your hands forward towards the top edge of your mat, toes tucked under. Find downward facing dog. Hips are high. Couple nice deep breaths here. Just kind of settling into the body, taking time to notice. Melting the heels down to the mat, keeping your head and neck in line with your spine here. Continuing to breathe, finding lots of grounding in the pose. Remember, if down dog does not work for you, you can come to child's pose, tabletop, or dolphin pose if you have wrist troubles. Just make the practice available to you. Remember, this is your time to move your own body, so do what works best for you. Looking forward towards the top of your mat, walk or step to a forward fold, generously bending the knees. Just letting the upper body hang as you sway gently from side to side. Relax the back of the neck. And then inhale halfway up, flat back. Go ahead and fly your arms out to a T here. Pull the shoulder blades together so heart lifts, belly is in. Again, noticing that activation across the front body, that length across the heart center. As you exhale, big fold, bend your knees. Think about collapsing the chest down towards the thighs, relaxing the back of the neck. Maybe even taking your arms, wrapping them behind the knees today. Shifting your weight from side to side or toes to heels. One more inhale. Exhale, release the hands. Inhale again to a flat back. Halfway lift. Bring the arms out to a T. Draw the shoulder blades together and down your back. So being mindful to not hike them up towards your ears. As you exhale, forward fold. Good. Pull your belly in, come on to stand all the way up. Lift your arms up over your head. Look up. Pedal out those feet if you need to. Use your exhale to come together at heart center. Good. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Firm your glutes. Take a little back bend here. As you exhale, come through heart center, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Pull the belly in. Exhale, round and fold. Inhale, press through the feet, reach all the way up. Firm the glutes, little back bend. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Little back bend. Exhale, forward fold, leading with your heart. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, round and fold. Inhale, press through the feet, sweep all the way up, little back bend. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good, we're gonna do a classic sun salutation to start, integrating our low lunge so we can open through the front of the hip. So we'll inhale, sweep the arms up, little back bend if you'd like, optional. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step the right knee back. Walk or sweep your arms up for low lunge. Tuck the tailbone under, settle into that front knee, so opening the front of the right hip, activating the glute on the back of the right hip. As you exhale, take your hands down, step it back to plank pose. From the toes or the knees. We'll pause here for 2 breaths. Find that activation across the shoulder girdles here. So you're going to activate through that mid-back. Good, set your knees down, lower all the way down to your tummy. Inhale, locust pose today. So you'll lift your chest up, sweep the arms back. Lift the legs if it's available to you. Another good option for lifting the legs, if you can't quite get the legs up, is tuck the toes under and lift the kneecaps up. So again, activating the back of the hip. Opening the chest and shoulders, continuing to hold your breath here. Feel that back body activation. Release the hands under the shoulders, downward facing dog. Hips high. Good, looking forward, step the right foot through, drop the back knee, sweep the arms up, low lunge. Side 2, tailbone tucks, heart is open, gaze is lifted. On your next exhale, hands frame the foot, curl the back toes under, step forward, flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, round and fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up. Look up, little back bend. Exhale, hands through heart center, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, right knee steps back. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, hold. One more inhale. Exhale, hands to the mat, plank pose. 2 breaths. Press into that middle part of the mat. Good. Set your knees down on the mat. Lower all the way down to your tummy. Inhale, locust pose. Whatever variation works for you. Heart is open. Shoulder blades draw together. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hips high. 2 breaths. Good. Looking forward. Right foot steps through. Left knee drops down. Inhale, low lunge. Second side. Exhale, hands to the mat. Curl the back toes under. Halfway lift. Top of your mat. Exhale, round and fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up. Look up, little back bend if you like. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, forward fold. One more time through our classic sun salutation today. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, right knee steps back. Inhale, low lunge. Good, moving with your breath here. Exhale, hands to the mat, plank pose. Step it back, 2 breaths. Good, knees to the mat, lower all the way down. Inhale, locust pose, your variation of locust. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips high. Ground down. Looking forward, right foot steps through, left knee drops down. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, hands to the mat, curl the back toes under. Inhale, halfway lift, top of your mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach all the way up, little back bend. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good, sun salutation A. Inhale, sweep up, little back bend. Exhale, forward fold, leading with your heart. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step or hop back to plank pose and pause. 2 breaths in plank. If you'd like, press back to downward facing dog or that Vinyasa series. We'll take our first one from the knees, lowering halfway, chaturanga, low push up. Inhale, baby cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 breaths. Looking forward, walk, step, or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, round and fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up. Look up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step or hop back to plank, pause, either down dog or that Vinyasa series, or you can also skip all of that and just press back to down dog or child's pose. On your exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, back bend, open the heart. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips high. Inhale, right leg high, three-legged dog. Go ahead and flex the foot on that leg. Point the toes towards the floor. So you're kind of turning that thigh bone in. Foot is flexed. Then drop that heel towards the left buttock. Turn and look to the right. A little twisting here, a little side body opening. Then square your hips, reach that leg all the way up. Exhale, step it forward, warrior two. Pivot the back heel down. Gazing over the right hand, slightly tucking the tailbone under here, so activating across the low belly. Good, inhale, turn the right palm up. Exhale, reverse warrior. Maintain that bend in your front knee as you come into your reverse warrior. Exhale, find half moon, top of your mat. So you're going to focus in on those right toes pointing forward, fingertips to the mat or the floor. That lifted foot is flexed. Floating the left arm up, your gaze can be down or turn it to the side if that's available to you. Good, giant step back with the lifted leg. Plant your hands, plank pose. Good, Vinyasa or downward facing dog. Inhale, back bend of your choice. Baby cobra, locust, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, grounding down. Good, notice, take a moment to notice, and I want you to recall that positive self-talk. Whatever statement you had at the beginning of your practice today, I want you to say it in your own head, just to yourself, 2 times right now. And we'll follow it with a cleansing breath, inhaling through the nose. Big exhale through the mouth. Inhale, left leg high, reach it up. So instead of the foot being pointed today, let's flex it. Turn those toes to point to the floor. Feel that activation in the back of the hip. Drop the hip towards the right side. Turn and look to the left. Sorry, drop your foot, not your hip. Keep breathing. Good, then big inhale, sweep that left leg up. Toes point towards the floor. Exhale, step it forward. Warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. Soften the tops of the shoulders and breathe. Pull the belly in just slightly, settling into that front leg. Turn the left palm up. Exhale, reverse warrior. So our tendency in reverse warrior is kind of let that front knee come to straight. So try to see if you can keep the bend there. Good, we're going to be shifting into our front leg balance here. So take one more breath in. As you exhale, find half moon. Fingertips to the floor or a block. Totally fine to touch those back toes down as you need to. Foot is flexed on that lifted leg. Try to be light on your bottom hand. Gaze is up or down. Good, giant step back with the right leg. Come to plank. Good, down dog or Vinyasa, lower halfway chaturanga. Inhale, back bend of your choice. Exhale, downward facing dog. Couple of breaths. Great job, yogis. Keep breathing. Looking forward, walk, step, or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, round and fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up. Look up, little back bend. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, sweep all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step or hop back to plank pose. Take 2 breaths and pause. On your exhale, come over to the left side. Side arm balance. Float that right arm high. Hips are lifted. Exhale, release. Plank pose in the center. Breathe. Good. Inhale, left arm up. Come over to the right side. Side arm balance. Hips are high. Left side of the pelvis lifts towards the sky. Exhale, release to plank pose. And press back to child's pose. Knees to the mat. Forehead to the mat, or tuck the arms back at the sides. Couple of cleansing breaths here. Just taking time to notice how you feel. Notice how your body feels after you've done some movement and some asana practice. Noticing any areas where you still feel tightness or discomfort. And just directing some breath there. Good. When you feel ready, we're going to make our way back up to kneeling. So you can come through hands and knees. And then take your time, but walk back towards the back edge of your mat. We're going to take a couple variations of camel pose today. So for here, what we're going to do is tuck the toes under, so you're lifting and bringing your heels up. We're going to take the hands to the sacrum. Remember, that's that triangle bone at the bottom of your spine. Open the chest and point the elbows in the backwards direction. So this might be your version of camel pose. We're going to try a couple of things here. We're focusing, remember, on the back of the hip and the side of the hip. So I want you to tighten up your glutes, firming the glutes, lifting your gaze, and then take a gentle back bend here. Just start to bring your gaze up towards the ceiling. Stay for a breath or two. And then when you come back to the center, pull your belly in towards your spine so you feel that abdominal activation. And then if you practice camel and you want to move further into a camel pose, so you can either do what we just did, or hands are going to come to the sacrum, belly is in, spine is long, tighten the glutes, and then you can start to reach back through one side, fingertips to the heel. That left arm can float up, gazing back. Or you can take both fingertips back towards the heel. That's going to be more of a back bend, opening the heart, keeping the glutes firm, holding for as long as you feel comfortable, and then remember, belly in. Pull the navel to the spine, and then release is hare pose. So just a nice neutral to rounded, slight rounding in the spine here. Cleansing breath, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. One more time, inhaling through the nose, and exhaling through the mouth. And then walking your hands more forward. Come down to your tummy, however it feels good for you. You can lower through a variation of chaturanga. Just make your way down to your tummy and turn your left cheek to the mat. Bring your arms down to your sides. And just connect with your breath here. Just noticing how you feel. Maybe allowing the eyes to close here, recalling those positive thoughts, positive statements. Taking a moment of gratitude for your body and what it's able to do for you every day, no matter what limitations we have. So we all have our certain physical ailments and different things that we deal with from day to day. But the body's still pretty great, can still do pretty amazing things for us. When you feel ready, bringing your head and neck in line with your spine, tucking the toes under, inhaling and lifting the kneecaps up, and then if it's available to you, floating the chest and the arms, reaching back for those heels. So locust pose variation, nice and gentle. Once again, just recalling that openness across the chest, activating the back of the hips here with those knees straight but toes tucked under. Good. If it's available to you, float the legs, float the arms, and if you want to make it a little bit more challenging, you can bring your arms out to a T, or you can fly them up to a Y overhead. A lot more stability around the shoulder girdle for that, so if that does not feel available to you, then just sweep the arms back. And we'll hold for 3 more breaths. And then exhale, release everything. Go ahead and roll over to your back side, however you want to get over there today. Once you're on your back, step the feet in just slightly, and then go ahead and cross the left leg over the right. Press that left knee out to the side for reclining pigeon pose. So your reclining pigeon might just be this figure 4 stretch, or if you want to take that in, you can draw the legs into the chest, grab behind the right thigh, and start to feel some length through the glute and the outer hip. Rocking might feel good, or circling out the ankles. Doing what works for you. If it's available, close your eyes or just take the gaze down. So we're beginning to slow down the breath again, just like we did at the beginning of the practice today. Keeping your legs in that figure 4 position if you can, go ahead and drop them to the right side. Extend your left arm out, reclining spinal twist variation. So turning your gaze to the left. And if this doesn't work, just take any variation of a reclining spinal twist. A couple of nice deep breaths into that left lower rib cage. Uncrossing the legs, drawing them back in. Reach down for the instep or the outer part of the feet. Find your variation of happy baby pose. Maybe rocking gently from side to side. Pull the knees into the chest. This time switch sides with that reclining pigeon. So right over left. Press the right knee out to the side. Breathe in. As you exhale, pull the legs in if that's available to you. Breathing deeply into those muscles around the hip. See what feels available to you right now today. We're just tuning into your body. This is your time for self-care. There's no judgment here in our yoga practice. So everything is individualized so that you can do what works for you. I think that's even more so the case with our virtual yoga because I can't see most of you. So in that reclining pigeon pose, let the legs fall to the left. Extend your right arm out, turning the gaze to the right, reclining spinal twist. Couple of nice deep breaths into that right side body, right rib cage. Try to keep your your shoulder blades connected to the mat here. So chest is open. Taking this time to slow down. And then when you're ready, slowly drawing the legs back in. Maybe one more time, knees to chest. Give yourself a hug. Massage and release that low back. And then make your way into your final relaxation, Shavasana corpse pose. So we'll find that heart open position again, just like we did at the beginning of the practice. If you'd like to take that reclining bound angle pose, you can certainly do that if that works for you. Otherwise, legs are extended out, feet and ankles. Let them fall comfortably out to the long edges of the mat. Turn the palms up. Shoulder blades come underneath you just slightly. Breathe deeply in through the nose. Let everything go. Big exhale through the mouth. Let the eyes close or lower the gaze. Let go of any last remaining tension. Soften the forehead. Relax the jaw. Relax across the chest and the shoulders. Notice the openness across the collarbones and the front of the shoulders. Notice the gentle rise and fall of your belly with each breath. Once again, a moment of gratitude for coming to your mat today, for dedicating this time for you. Put a pause on any last mind chatter. Just enjoy a few moments of stillness. You are strong. You are loved. You are appreciated. You can do hard